All right, so in today's vlog, I am enjoying doing these dating vlogs and these vlogs about the men to date. I'm actually really enjoying them because I'm putting all of my experiences together for myself and like the experiences my friends have had, and I get to share them with you guys. So the next guy that you want to avoid dating is the guy that has had too much therapy, or the one that's been in therapy a lot. So what do I mean by that? Counseling is great. I think we all could use counseling. I mean, we all have our issues, right? So I'm not saying I'm against counseling, because I am not. That's not the way I want this to be taken. But if you meet a guy who is seeing a counselor, wonderful. That's actually proactive. I like that. Good job. But then he's also in like 5 other groups for anxiety, panic attacks, and shit like that. You want to be careful. Now, normally, if I have a guy who is telling me he's in counseling, I always think that's awesome. He's proactive. Perfect. I love it. Then, when he goes on to say it, he's also part of like 5 different groups for anxiety, panic attack, and then he goes, what I usually do is stop him there and I ask, well, how long have you been doing that for? Because, and if he says, my cutoff, everybody's can be different, but mine is about 3 months. If you've been going to these groups for over 90 days, I kind of feel like it's an issue. And the reason I say that, hear me out, the reason I say that is because there comes a point, like I've gone to groups. I remember after my husband passed away, I was at this widows group, which I actually went only a couple times, and then I felt like it was just too sad, wasn't for me, I wasn't ready. And I took I got what I needed out of it. And then I quit, I stopped. The thing here is when you have people, not just men, women too, but when you have people who are a part of many different groups, you begin to wonder, what are they getting out of it? What is it that they are kind of enjoying about the group? And what are they like getting from it? Like, what is serving them? Now, when I say what's serving them, it can be a good thing, but it can also be something like, are they in these groups because the stories of the other men and their stories of panic attacks or anxiety, do their stories actually make him feel better? Is he going to all of these different groups, 5 or 6 different men's groups about panic attacks, anxiety, or whatever? It could be whatever. But if they have the time to do all of these groups, they also do therapy, why do they continue to go? What is it that they are, him or her, what is it that that person is holding on to? Like, what is so unstable in their mind, in their subconscious mind, that going to these groups actually is satisfying to them? Because they're getting something out of it. Obviously, that's why they keep going. That's why they make the time. There's value in it for that person. Now, the reason I would say is to stay away from dudes like this, from men like this, is because there's obviously something that is completely unfulfilled in their life, and they don't know how to deal with it. So, I mean, kudos to them for counseling. I think counseling is great. We all should do counseling. But then why all that other time? And how would they be? Like, if it's panic, I'm just doing panic attacks and anxiety as, I'm just using it as an example in this group or in this blog. But realistically, okay, if it's panic attacks and anxiety, how do they actually deal if they're in the midst of a panic attack or they have anxiety? And what are their triggers? Do they have a ton? They're going to a lot of therapy, a lot of groups. Like, they obviously have unresolved issues. basically. So that is why I wanted to make this vlog. It's not that I'm against therapy. I'm actually very much so for therapy. I think these men's groups or anxiety groups or even women's groups, whatever they may be, I think that they are beneficial. But there's also a line that's crossed sometimes where the benefit for the person becomes listening to to other people's chaos, and then they feel better because other people are way worse off than them. So they start getting this like validation of listening to other people's stories and validating that their life is actually way better. They're fine, which is okay too. But the thing is, then you're not there anymore to deal with your anxiety or your fear or your panic attacks. You are now there for a whole different reason. You're there for your ego. You are no longer working on your anxiety or dealing. And the reason I ask them like, okay, how long have you been doing that for? How many do you go to? How much of your time does this take in your life? Like, and what do you want out of it? What are you seeing from it? The reason I ask guys these questions, and I've had a couple guys actually who go to several groups. The reason I ask these questions is because it takes about 90 days to change a behavior. And in that 90 days, you have to concentrate on changing habits. So if you are making it a habit to go to a group, what are you changing in your actual life though? Like, which habit are you getting rid of and how are you getting rid of it? What are you actively doing in your life that you are getting from that men's group? And if there's people that have been going for more than a year or whatever, and they are now helping other people, that's different. That is amazing. It's awesome. That's what we're all here to do. We're here to share knowledge. That's different. But it's those people that are going to all these groups because they feel better, but they're not changing their own life. So that is the reason I wanted to make this vlog and just make women aware, like guys that are in too much therapy, you want to start asking them questions. You really, really want to start asking them questions so you can get into what is that chaos that is going on in their mind. And sometimes it's fine. Sometimes like, whatever, okay, great, I'm glad you're getting help. Other times, and honestly, for me, it's been other times, it's usually, okay, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. Not all the time. For me though, it has been most of the time. All right, that's just another tip. Love you guys. Bye.